Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please welcome to the show, Diamond Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Bang!
There you go. Very nice. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I stayed up last night, watched Raw. It was a show. It was tough for me to watch it because to watch it meant I had to turn off the video game. And I've been playing the video game nonstop since I got it Friday.
Man, I told you before, I was even talking to my buddy John about this yesterday. We used to love wrestling video games, and then something happened, and I just don't anymore. I just wish I did. And we were talking, and we even quoted the Bruce and Conrad podcast. Man, it seems like they can do so much. They're so powerful. They've got so many different match types. They got so many different storyline things you can do. So many creative wrestler options. It looks like so much fun. And then the bell rings, and I just don't have fun between the bell.
See, I really enjoy the bell. In between the bell, some of the stuff before it is okay, but gets a little repetitive and hokey for me. But the different matches and stuff, they made my career more exciting, I think. I went to SmackDown after NXT and a short little stint in Raw where I was asked to job 3 times in a row. Like, it was just cool.
See, and then that's the part. Like, if we were roommates, like, I would want to do all that stuff and then just hand you the controller every time the bell rang.
Oh, and just let me do the matches.
Yeah, I don't get into them, man. I don't know what it is because they just never been able to capture that. I call it the No Mercy formula. John calls it the WrestleMania 2000 formula. But that was the way I liked them. They were just, those matches were fun to play for me, and then these just aren't. I don't know how else to explain it.
My favorite wrestling video game ever was an arcade game, and it was in the arcade. It was the WWF Royal Rumble game. It was just an arcade form, and it was awesome.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, no, those were interesting. There's better ones. To me, the pinnacle is easy. There isn't even a second thought about it. The best wrestling video game to me is No Mercy on Nintendo 64.
I don't disagree with that. I thought that game was great, but it's been so long, so like over 2 decades since I played it that I don't really remember why I liked it. I just remember that I did.
It couldn't have been over 2 decades because it released in 2000 or 2001.
So close to then.
Yeah, but it's close. But just the matches were fun, and that was the thing. And it had like Titantrons and different match types. But the bottom line was, between the bell, I was having fun playing the game.
And you don't anymore.
I just don't. I don't. Ever since they went, I call it like the SmackDown series, the SmackDown versus Raw. Those games, they had a lot of bells and whistles. They always looked cutting edge, and I definitely get why you guys are playing it. I just wish I could.
I wish they'd bring back General Manager mode. That was my favorite mode ever, where you pick a brand and you can draft, and then you try to make your show better than the other brand. And I wish they'd bring that back. I thought this year they would. They didn't. I
think the stuff like reliving Attitude Era storylines like looks cool to me. Like, that all looks fun to me.
You would have enjoyed it. I think you would have enjoyed that with the game 2 years ago. Like, you relive Stone Cold's career, and it's as you play the game, you do matches, but you do certain parts of matches, and there are cut scenes, and there are real videos, and I think those kind of things you'd enjoy. But the game itself, every year I get it, and I say, if I think Rob will like it, I'll tell him, and I never tell you, because they haven't come out with a game that's going to bring you back. Not yet.
Yeah, I know what I like, and it's just it's all a little too much for me right now. But
isn't that funny though? It's ironic because you love video games and you love wrestling, but you hate wrestling video games.
Dude, even through like the first game that came out when I was a fan. So when you keep in mind, I became a fan in '94 in the summer. Raw came out. WWE RAW came out in December of '94, and I got it for Christmas that year, and I was so excited. And that game delivered. I loved it. It was a Super Nintendo game. You could get it on other systems too, but I played it on Super Nintendo. It was great. It only had 12 wrestlers to choose from, but I had so much fun with it. I even liked the really weird ones, WrestleMania the arcade game, and In Your House. They were like more like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter games where you'd have to like remember like how to do a button combination to do what move, and they weren't realistic at all, but they were still fun. And then we got to the pinnacle, man, when the WCW games on N64, like Versus the World and Revenge hit. That's when everything was like, oh my God, these are awesome. And then when WWE got the brand from THQ, it's like, that's the pinnacle. And it's been downhill ever since.
Downhill. I still enjoy it, but I see what you're saying. I'd like to see EA Sports get a crack at it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be totally restarted with someone besides 2K for me to want to give one another shot.
Yeah, not like a new graphics engine, but a new engine altogether.
Yeah, it's got to be new. Everybody involved's got to be someone different. I'm sorry, it can't be 2K, and it's not a knock. It's just where I'm at.
Right. Okay. So, great. Well, what do you think about Raw?
You know, looking back, Raw wasn't bad. There's plenty to talk about. As always, it feels long. It's always my major complaint. There was stuff that could have been cut, but still, when you look back, some big things happened.
Right. Well, Michael Cole, when they were lining it up at the beginning, he said, looking at this Raw, this could be one for the ages. He was wrong, but it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I took some notes at the beginning, and then I feel like a lot of the middle could have been gone. There wasn't much in the middle that was really necessary. Let's start at the top. And my first note that I have is that, holy cow, look, and I mean really look, at how everybody loves Roman Reigns right now.
I love it. I think it was great. Yeah, they finally did what they needed to do. And whenever this Shield run ends, whenever it is, whenever it's finally time for Roman again, I hope they actually act on it instead of last time.
No, what I'm saying is you found a way in just the course of 1 week to get everybody to go from booing him, from the undesired response to the desired response of cheering him.
You just had to put him with the two guys they were already cheering.
Correct. We know what we look like. For example, and I know I've said this a lot on this show, but it's been a little minute. It's been a little while. I don't enjoy John Cena when he is a world champion. I don't know why. If he is not a world champion, if he's not in the main event, if he's in just a story-driven feud, not over the world title, I'm a big Cena fan. And again, even still, the more it happens, because it's been a minute since he's had a world title, I've been reminded he's a fantastic performer.
Wonderful. There's a reason he's the top guy.
But for some reason, when you put him in a main event program for a world title, I just cannot stand him.
Because he's been there too much. I think it's overexposure in that one position.
Well, and when the whole, I call it the 2006 nightmare, but like around that time when wrestling was really bad to me, it was always him with the world title, usually with Orton or Edge or whatever. And it was just forced down my throat. He was always a champion, and I just hated it. And now that he's been gone for a little bit, just, as long as he's not fighting for a world title, I think he's amazingly good. Like, not good, but great. With Roman Reigns, this is a really good lot for him. And I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean he's really good as part of a stable.
Yeah, part of the Shield is great. Now, they needed to break it up the last time. And I say that in hindsight because I consider that Seth Rollins title run as one of the best ever. And so I'm glad that happened. But then I thought they mishandled Reigns from their end.
Yeah, so it's like here's the way I would look at the Shield breakup. You had, everyone kind of had their shot. And you had Seth Rollins, and his experiment was a great success. I feel like all those guys, when you gave them a world title, you didn't really know what was going to happen. And Seth Rollins greatly overperformed as champion, and I think that would be viewed as a wild success.
Yes.
And you had Ambrose either middle of the road to poor as champion. That's just my critique. I guess that's up for debate.
I would go middle of the road and up, because I thought that when he had the championship, he stepped it up. But it was great.
And for sure, the audience was behind him. So like that part of it worked. And then you had Reigns, and I feel like it worked for a second. Or, I mean, you're getting a response, but I don't feel like they've hit the mark with where they wanted him to be as a singles competitor.
Now he's getting cheers again. I think it's great.
So I feel like for Roman and maybe also Dean, and at least, okay, and I'll say this, since his return, Seth Rollins has been under-delivering as a performer, or at least as a character. These guys are they're a great unit, and that's okay. You're allowed to be good at tag team. Like Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson were not single stars.
I think what makes them so great together is that they all are put on good to great matches in different ways, different styles. Two of the three are good on the mic. And Roman is just an ass kicker. And when you put Roman in the ass kicker, I like him. I thought he put on great matches when he was doing the singles run that everybody hated. It was just everything else. For him, when the bell rang was actually a good thing, I think. It was when the bell wasn't ringing that Roman Reigns was in deep poop.
Yeah, so I just want to say that, like, I'm not even criticizing the guy. Like, he's got his lot, in my opinion. This is it. With the Shield, he's fantastic. And that's the way I feel about it. So
I'll tell you this. I had one critique in that whole thing, and it's not even the part where Seth Rollins accidentally calls Roman Reigns Big Dong. For me, and I feel like I'm going to become a broken record about this, because I did it last week about Daniel Bryan, and I'm going to do it this week. They need different general managers. I'm sorry. I'm a Kurt Angle fan. I love Kurt Angle. We don't talk. I know what your top 10 and your top 5 look like for wrestlers of all time. Angle's in mine, and I can't stand him in this role. Like when Raw starts with his music, I kind of groan, and then he comes out, and his promo work is just not great, and his timing is not great. There's this moment if you go back and just watch it. It's so little, and it's so nitpicky, and I feel bad even bringing it up. But he's about to finish his sentence. And we're gonna make something happen tonight. Is his sentence. And he goes, and he gets to the word gonna, and then the Shield, the old Shield music starts to play. The Foxtrot Charlie, that's going. And he keeps talking right over it, acting like it's not even happening, because he has to finish his sentence. He's like, I have a script, I have to finish my sentence. And they interrupt him, but he doesn't stop, and he doesn't sell it. And then he gets to the end of his sentence, and then they come out, and then he acts surprised. And I was like, you're the freaking worst actor.
Well,
second only to Daniel Bryan.
Let me comment on that real quickly, if you don't mind.
I think he's a turd.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Turd!
Okay, let me just do this for a second. You're not necessarily wrong. And I would agree with you. I'd be upset about this if I felt like his being a general manager was preventing him from being a wrestler. I'd rather have him in this role than in no role, which I feel like is the only other option.
Okay, so he can't wrestle anymore? I thought he was going to wrestle at some point.
I think that's still the plan. And I believe that will happen at some point. But it's not going to be regular, and it's not going to, I don't think it will be frequent. I bet you he's got, I'm going to say less than 5 matches left in his career.
It's just his acting chops just aren't there. He seems like it's the same all the time, and I don't know. It's a problem I'm having.
Understood. I don't disagree.
Speaking of Kurt Angle, I noticed they almost completely have dropped the Jason Jordan Angle thing.
You know, Jason, it kind of hit me this week, and maybe I just never really picked up on it. Jason Jordan's new theme song is kind of a remix of Angle's. I know. I see what they were trying to do. Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. You can't blame Angle for it, though.
No, he was just playing ball. He was just doing his thing. So, yeah, I thought that was a good segment. I just had that one little criticism.
One to praise the Shield for another thing, too. The Shield, for all intents and purposes, they have literally picked up right where they left off. I mean, there was no reacclimation period needed at all. They acted like the Shield of 4 years ago immediately, and that's praise.
And isn't it making for some fun stuff at the end of that match when you've got a cage match going on, but there's also a backstage brawl happening at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they set their TLC match up perfectly, I thought.
Yeah, I guess I do feel like it's gotten a little rushed. Like, okay, they didn't rush the reunion because they gave that time to play out week by week, and they did that well. But now we're 1 week before, I guess let's just say 2 weeks before TLC when it happened last week, and they really had to shove down our throats that they're back. So I feel like rushing isn't the right word. The word is they needed, I feel like there could be a little more time between Shield reunion and pay-per-view, even though it's not possible.
Right. Okay, I get that.
So I wanted to praise them for that. Thought it was weird that Braun Strowman just had a really high-profile cage match, I think Labor Day weekend.
They just love putting that guy in the cage.
It just feels really soon after it to have another Braun Strowman cage match main event. Am I wrong there? It's like been 6 weeks maybe.
Well, no, you're not wrong. I don't see any problem with it. Like, it doesn't bother me because I like cage matches. But I think that it's awfully soon from the last time. Plus, and I know it's a different brand, but we just watched 2 Hell in a Cell matches. So just if you're looking at it from a WWE fan perspective, we've had a lot of cages in our life.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's a gimmick that goes back, probably back before televised wrestling.
Right. Well, no, I get that. What I'm saying is we just watched 2 Hell in a Cell matches last week. I know it was a different brand, but it's still, we're just, you're not fooling me. There's not people like, I only watch SmackDown. That's not happening. So you have everyone watch those, and then you had him in a cage match with the Big Show. And so, yeah, maybe they're overexposing the cage, but I liked it.
I didn't take any notes about, we'll come back to the cage match because the big thing is what happened at the end of the cage match. Okay, yeah. Before we even get to the big thing, I don't know. The whole Braun Strowman thing, I don't know how they're going to do this without making him look a little weak. Before Brock Lesnar, they made it look like he could beat 5 men by himself, and now he's going to be a member of a 5-man handicap team going up against 3. So that's weird. Yeah, if you're going to put anybody on the short side of a handicap match, you'd think you'd put Braun Strowman there. Right. But, yeah. But you would, they're really loading up that team of 5. We'll come back to that. Sure. No, you know what? Let's keep on it because I don't have a whole lot outside. I want to talk about Enzo, but we can come back to that. Okay. The cage match was fine for what it was. Like I said, I think they probably should have left a little bit of time to breathe between cage matches, but obviously there was a reason that this one was in a cage because Kane came up from the depths of hell. And that was relatively exciting for a Kane return. There's been several dozen Kane returns since, 1997. But this one, it definitely came out of nowhere. The mayor of Memphis just appearing through the bottom of the ring from the depths of hell. The depths. Knox County. Is it not Memphis? Is that not what he's running for? Knox County mayor. Yeah, I think. Oh, okay. I think that's Memphis. So I put in my blog that he's running for Memphis mayor, but I hope to God he wins. So we don't see him as much. I hope to God he wins because I had to check. I was like, last night I checked it. I was like, did he lose? Because if he lost, and that's why he's back in a WWE ring ruining a pay-per-view like Kane does, I'm gonna be like, thanks Knox County for ruining everything. This is your fault, Knox County. It's your fault. I hate to hate on Kane. I do because I know how you feel. The guy's he's so consistent. And listening to the Bruce Pritchard podcast when they talked about his debut, they didn't plan for him to be there that long. They were creating enemies for The Undertaker, and they thought that this would last. And when the run with The Undertaker was done, that Kane would probably go away. And Glenn Jacobs has turned it into a Hall of Fame career, if you ask me. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, a Hall of Fame career. But, I mean, Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. But every time they add him to a ladder match, it ruins the ladder match. Every time they add him to it, it felt like for a time there, they were just adding him to stuff. And I've had enough of Kane. I've had enough of him. Yeah, 20 years has been plenty. The surprise guy being Kane wasn't fun for me. They might as well have just surprised us with the Big Show. I mean, it's the same thing. So I'll say this. when Kane's music played, I was surprised. I don't want to be like the guy that was like, I could see that coming when obviously I don't think anyone saw Kane returning last night.
I didn't see it coming because I thought he was running for office.
But I wasn't surprised. I will say, as soon as the music played, I knew he was going to come up from the bottom of the ring.
I didn't. I thought he was going to rip the door off the cage.
No, I was expecting the bottom of the ring. I just knew it. And then the longer they showed the entrance without him there, that just became more obvious to me. And I'll also say, just like Jason Jordan, they slightly remixed Kane's music too, and it kind of sounds a little cool.
Yeah, for a minute I was like, this sounds like Kane. I feel like this is Kane, but that's not Kane's music. Oh, but it's Kane's music. It just is a remix. And then bang, out of the. By the time I realized it was Kane's music for sure, he was coming out of the ring. So I never guessed it.
So for as proud I was that I was realizing he was coming up from the bottom of the ring, I would also say I was 100% positive once he started, stalking Roman Reigns, that he was going to choke slam Braun Strowman. But that's not what happened.
Right.
And not only that, I figured because he's running for Knox County mayor or whatever it is, that he was going to return as a babyface. Also not seemingly the plan right now.
Well, I mean, he could always turn. It seems weird that your team of 5 is The Miz, The Bar, Braun Strowman, and Kane, and you're going up against 3 guys. Like that's a stacked 5 team. Holy smokes.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, it's not set in stone that Shield's going to win on Sunday. It's not.
I don't know how they can. I'm almost ready to lock in for a couple days.
Okay. Well, we're going to lock in on Thursday.
But I mean, I could lock in. I could preemptively lock in early. And then when we do the thing, then I could change it if I needed to.
No, that's not locking in.
It's the same thing.
I don't think I know much else of the card. You've got Asuka and Emma. I'm
locking in on that one.
I'm ready to lock in on Asuka and Emma. Yeah.
We've locked in. I'll put that on the sheet.
And then I'm trying to think if I know anything else happening on Sunday. Holy cow. Hold on. Let me think. Let me think for a second.
Enzo and Kalisto.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I probably could have gotten that one. Holy cow. Is there, I don't know if I can name one more match.
I can't. Let's take a look.
This is a problem.
This is a big problem. And when they put all their guys, their world champion's not there. He's absentee, and their intercontinental champions in the. Okay, so you've got Asuka and Emma, Kalisto and Enzo, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James.
Okay, they've been doing. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like they've been doing a solid job.
And the Shield versus Miz, Braun Strowman, The Bar in a TLC match. They have 5 matches announced. That's it.
Yikes.
I'm sorry. Did I say 5? I meant 4.
Oh, wow. And then do any of these have a TLC stipulation? Do any of those have a stipulation?
Asuka and Emma, I don't think have a stipulation. Kalisto and Enzo do not, but I wouldn't be surprised if tonight on 205 Live they establish one there.
Why is this
Alexa
even
Alexa
TLC?
Bliss and Mickie James, I don't see a stipulation there.
This is so weird.
There's a TLC match at the end.
Gotta be honest with you, I feel like there's no way around this one. While there may have been one time worse this happened this year, this is a lousy build.
Yeah, maybe we'll get something with like Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks, or maybe we'll get something with Elias.
So
Sampson.
If we add Banks and Fox, now we're looking at most of the announced card being women. There's 3 women's matches. That's a lot.
Right.
And also want to point out, not a single match has a stipulation, which TLC is known for having all stips. Yeah. Why are we what is happening here?
We might get another cruiserweight match. I don't know.
Stop it, Jer.
Will you be serious?
Just stop. Like, this is just not. And I have to be honest with you there. The match that they've been building everything towards, the match they've invested all their time in, is a match I have moderate interest in.
They've got 8 guys in it. They put everybody in it.
It's just moderate at best.
I don't know how they're going to fill 3 hours.
Holy cow. And watch it'll be closer to 4.
Well,
and then you got the pre-show.
Of course you do.
Holy cow.
Of course you do. Like, if we get to Thursday and this is all we have, maybe we wait until I'm off on Friday. I can't do Friday. I don't know. We can't do a prediction show with just four
No, we
matches.
have to. I maintain we do it Thursday, in my opinion. TLC, baby.
And we've already locked in on one of them. Holy smokes. We have 3 matches to predict on Thursday. We'll be done in 6 minutes.
Well, you know what? If that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes.
The consultants will love it. Let's go to Enzo quickly because, by the way, the best insult of the night was you Beetleborg Power Ranger looking. Like, he was making fun of Kalisto, telling me he looked like a Power Ranger. I love Enzo in this role. I absolutely love it.
I agree completely. This is finally where he needed to be. And I cannot believe we're north of a month. I mean, we're probably almost 2 months deep into Enzo leaving Raw, everyone calling it the demotion of a lifetime, to go to 205 Live. Look what he's done. My God, I'm so proud of him.
He's killing it. And I like, Neville not being there. I don't like Neville not being there, but Neville not being there, I like that they've decided instead of everybody versus Enzo, give him a couple heels and let him boss some people around. He's big in the cruiserweight division, like size-wise, and I like him throwing some weight around and being a total jerk to Kalisto.
Yeah,
he was like, look at your mask. Your mask is gazy. He's so obnoxious, and they were all trying on his clothes. And I loved everything about it. And
I loved when he did the "You Deserve It" chant when Kalisto's getting beat down.
You deserve it.
Love this segment. My only complaint is, and maybe it's because I don't watch 205 Live, I felt like those guys helping him came out of nowhere. Didn't make any sense because just 2 weeks ago it seemed like everybody hated him.
Didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
it made a little. Yeah, it really didn't. But whatever, they're changing course, and that's how it is. By the way, we did forget a match, and I'll tell you about it after we're done talking about Enzo.
Well, I'm done.
I just loved it. I loved it, and I think I hate Kalisto now because he cut a stupid promo, and he said he's going to be the new champ while wearing the belt. He's standing there wearing the belt, and he's like, I'm going to be the new champion. Wrong.
If it means anything, I don't think English is his first language.
Means nothing.
All right, what else did you want to mention?
We forgot Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, all right, you're right about that. And
I can't believe we forgot. That's a big one because everybody's waiting to see the Sister Abigail appearance.
I thought that the Balor stuff, I like stuff like that. But what he did last night was just okay.
I thought it was okay. I like the spooky Halloween pumpkin Finn Balor. Like, I hope we get pumpkin Finn Balor on Sunday. That'll be fun.
David Pumpkin.
Oh, so we have David S. Pumpkin versus Sister Abigail on Sunday. I'm not ready to lock in on that one.
No, me neither. I feel like
we have 5 matches. We have 5 matches.
I feel like if I needed to lock in on the main event right now, I could. But yeah, no, this is not looking like an A+ show coming up on Sunday. Agreed?
Well, agreed, but there's tables, there's ladders, and there's chairs.
No, there's not. Only in the title. In
the main event. And I'm telling you, if that match ends up brutal, I'll give it an A.
So wait, is it a main event? Is that a stipulation? Is it a TLC match that I'm not...
The main event is a TLC match.
Oh, okay. That's what I was looking for. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the main event is a TLC match, but all the other matches don't have stipulations as far as I can see.
Okay, well, at least there's that. At least there is a TLC match. I mean, it'd be like if there was no Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell. No, Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, Backlash at Backlash.
No, King of the Ring at King of the Ring.
Come on.
No mercy. What if there was actually Mercy at No Mercy?
Nobody getting slammed in the summer at SummerSlam. Now we're getting thin.
All right.
Now,
what if
everybody dies at Survivor Series?
What if there was a way out of Texas? For you longtime fans.
Tuesday night in Texas. This Tuesday afternoon.
this Wednesday morning. It's Tuesday night in Texas.
And the wheels have come off the wagon.
What if everybody talked about Taboo Tuesday?
Oh. By the way, I'm going to start calling you Big Dong from now on. Big Dong.
I received that. It's my yard. You Battleborg looking Fugazi.
You Fugazi Power Ranger looking Beetleborg.
Happy birthday, Jake the Snake.